Hello everybody, my name is Freaky and welcome to another everyone's favorite video, the stories, and that's what everyone loves to hear about, so that's why I'm making it today. Now, I just thought of a story, and I thought I'd share with you guys. It took me a while to really remember what exactly happened. I was kind of like getting fragments of my memories lost, and I finally kind of put some two and two together. This story is taking place when I was in first grade, and it's probably my first embarrassing moment that I've ever had in my life. Like, you know how, like, there's some things that you just do and it's, like, super embarrassing and then you just remember? That's sort of what happened a couple days ago when I remembered the story. So, once upon a time, I was in first grade, obviously. You know, everyone goes to school. I was 6 years old, and I was either 5 or 6 years old. And I was really trying to fit in with the crowd, okay? So this is my first year in this school. The first grade in this school, everything. So I was new to the classroom. I was wanting to fit in. I wanted to be part of their little social group, even though I was like 6 years old, so I don't even remember doing this really. But I noticed that everyone was kind of getting into sports and basketball and etc., right? And I noticed that they started wearing basketball jerseys, and I was like, well, I guess I gotta get a basketball jersey. So I remember I'd walk my little self outside of that school and got in my car and I was like, Mom, I need a fucking goddamn basketball jersey because I need to fit into the crowd and I'm about to be playing basketball when I get into third grade or whatever it was. I actually don't even remember what grade it was that I could play basketball in. It's kind of sad. But yeah, I ended up going home that day. The year was 2000, I will say that. So we went on the internet. And eBay was around, okay? eBay was around in 2000, so eBay's been around for a long fucking time. I believe it was eBay. It had to be eBay because I remember, yeah, it was probably eBay or something else. But my mom went on the internet. She found a jersey, and I remember looking at it, and I was like, yeah, that actually looks pretty cool. That looks really awesome. It's like light blue and kind of like striped, and it's kind of slimmer. It's kind of cool looking. And my mom was like, you sure you want this one? We can look around for more. And I was like, no. That one. Sold it to me right now. That thing is amazing. Out the water. Super cool. Imagine like a 6-year-old saying this, really. Like, that'd be hilarious. But no, I was just like, yeah, I want that one. That looks freaking awesome. And my mom ended up buying it. And like a week later, I believe it came. And I go to school in it one day. And I remember I had my like, I had like a white t-shirt on underneath of it. I had like the jersey over it. I had like some matching shorts to go along with it. I thought I was like balling out when I was like 6 years old. I thought I was like the craziest looking kid. I thought I was like badass as fuck, like coming in with a basketball jersey. Now mind you, this was a school that was from first grade to 8th grade. It was a very small school, but everybody was associated with each other in the hallways. The classrooms were just one class and one grade. That was it. You didn't really go around the halls too much except for recess and lunch, and that's just what happened. So I bump into a lot of older kids in that school a lot. And I remember this was probably the time where I didn't really understand what was going on, but an older kid came up to me and he was like 8th grader, and I literally remember to this day thinking 8th graders were like 30 years old. Like, that's just how old they looked to me when I was that young. And he came up to me, he's like, hey, little man, you were like wearing, you're wearing a WNBA jersey, you know that, right? And I was like, yeah, dude, I know that, And I was like strutting my stuff walking down the hall, and then he just proceeded laughing as I'm walking down the hall. I thought it was like he was just giving me props or something, like I was like badass. So I ended up walking all the way down to my classroom, hopped in that class, and I just remember like everyone that I thought was cool and that I wanted to hang out with were just kind of looking at me, and they're like, what are you wearing? And I was like, I'm wearing my my basketball jersey. You know, I got this today. I thought it was pretty cool. Look at it. It's like light blue and stuff. And then some of the kids were like, oh, that's awesome jersey. And then the other ones were kind of like looking at it like they're kind of confused because like first graders kind of don't get it all the time. So they're like, I know something's up with that. Doesn't look. I don't really think that's a team, but I don't know. I don't know. And then I'm out like. Probably a couple hours go by, right? And this is near the end of the day. And I start to kind of understand what's going on because I'm like looking at my jersey a little bit. I'm kind of like looking and trying to see if there's actually something wrong with it. I'm still not pinpointing what's going on. And the cool guys in the class, 2 of them come up to me and they're like, dude, you're wearing a WNBA jersey. And I was like, yeah, I know it's an NBA jersey. And they're like, no, a WNBA jersey. I was like, what's a WNBA jersey? They're like, you're wearing a girl's jersey, dude. And I was like, oh, no. I was like, that's impossible. And I literally didn't know what to fucking do. I had to take it off. And I remember walking down the hallway. This was literally at the end of, like, school. Like, it was, like, when the bell rang and I was about to leave and stuff. And I, like, freaked out. I was, like, I was so embarrassed that I wore a woman's jersey to school, thinking I was, like, badass walking around with it. And I ended up hopping in my mom's car. And at the time, my dad's friend's son we had to take home, too. So he went to that same school, but he was an 8th grader. And I remember him getting in the car with me, and then I had my WNBA jersey. I threw it in the back seat of my mom's van, and then he hops in the back seat, and he's like, oh shit, whose WNBA jersey is this? What the fuck? And I was just like, I was like so saddening by this, and I was like, it's mine. And then I like grabbed it, and I like pulled it over, and they're like, hey man, you don't need to be sad about that. I was like, I don't know what happened. And my mom was like, we thought it was an NBA jersey, but it wasn't. It was a WNBA jersey. Honey, I'll take it home. I'll take it home. We'll send it back. We'll send it back. And I'm sitting in the little mid row of the van, sitting there with my arms crossed. And I'm like, everyone's gonna hate me tomorrow. Everyone is seriously going to hate me. And I was like, no, everything will be okay, everything will be okay. And that's basically where the story ends. I was kind of ridiculed in school for about a week until, you know, first graders' memory kind of disappears and they just forget about the whole situation. But yeah, that's my story about basically sort of cross-dressing, I guess, at school. Not really. I wore a women's jersey to school, and it's kind of weird. Like, you know how you wear, like, one day you walk into school and you're wearing women's really skinny jeans, and you're like, I know it looks good on me, but I'm not going to tell anybody that's women's skinny jeans because it looks fucking flawless on this bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't get it? Okay. Well, let me know in the comment section if you guys have any embarrassing stories to tell me early on in school or any time during school. Let me know in the comment section your story. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Drop a like on this one so it can get shared around in the sub boxes. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch your freaky faces in the next video.